Hi, my name's Chuck Euston, and I'm here at my friend's place, Mr. Neil Haylock, and he makes these Haylock guitars. And this is his storage room where he keeps all the parts, all the woods. And he keeps them in this room for a reason. Down here he has something that measures temperature and humidity. He wants this room to be as stable as it can be for the temperature and humidity before he reaches for all these pieces to build instruments. And when you look around here, here's a neck. It's a long way from that to this, isn't it? But it's ready for shaping, and it has the slot already cut. Underneath it, up here, you see a stack of wood here that has all the sides. And of course, here's a stack of these wonderful faces. And here, over the side here, fretboards. And it's matching bridge pieces with the saddles, all ready to go. That's a lovely ebony one. He has them all prepared and ready. Up the top you'll see braces of all shapes and sizes, all partially shaped, ready to be glued on, and then finally shaped when he finishes. So many bits all in one room. There's a lot of value in that room. Doesn't mean a thing, of course, until he gets his hands on it. But you know, if I was a reductionist or an analyst, I could come into here and say, well, Neil, this really just boils down to just a bunch of woods and a bit of glue. And if I really want to make one of these, I could come here and pinch off your shelves a front and a back and some sides and glue and whiz into your workshop, and I could knock one of these up for myself. And of course, I know that's utter foolishness, because I just can't make it do this. This thing sings because he's had his hands on it. He's had fingertips that have told him more than his eyes could even see at times about what needs to come off, what needs to be shaped, what needs to be tap-toned and touched and listened to with his ear, getting the right tune. And he's put it all together with this final instrument in his mind's eye all the time. It reminds me of us as people. We're just not a bunch of chemicals. Someone analysed us some time ago, this must be a few years back now, because they said we were worth 85 cents of chemicals. And I don't think our life is just 85 cents of chemicals that's come out of some sort of primordial ooze. We've been fearfully and wonderfully made. And King David said that about Psalm 139. You can have a read for yourself. And he said, I've been fearfully and wonderfully made. And he had this awareness. He said, every sinew, every bone fashioned in my mother's womb, made from nothing into something. And he had this acute awareness in his heart that the Spirit of the living God needed to dwell within his whole being and lead him wherever he went. And he makes a note at the end of the psalm. He says, Lord, lead me in a path of life that's everlasting by your Spirit. Wherever I go, I can never get away from your Spirit. We are made that way. So what do you see here? Just a pile of wood? Or do you see something like this? I think this is what we all just would love. It rings. It absolutely sings with the way that Neil built it. We're no different. We are no different. Don't ever undersell yourself. You are not just a bunch of chemicals. You are not just pieces made into something by chance. There's no more chance in you than there is in this. And I think there's an innate knowing within us that we know that, and dare to ask your Creator and say, I want to know, like King David, what it is to hear your Spirit call to me, talk to me. Jesus came to show us how that happened, you know. He said, everything I ever did in this life. He said, I never did it myself. I only followed the directions of my Father in heaven. And he lived this amazing life that even the grave couldn't hold down. And he wants exactly the same for you and me. He says, go and ask for yourself. And those who come and ask, he won't turn them away. He'll answer you. Do it. Come and join me again for some more times around Neil's workshop. We'll show you some of the other things he does and enjoy the wonder of it, eh? Yeah. Oh yeah, rings on, doesn't it?